Have you ever poured your heart, soul, and maybe a little bit of your sanity into your website, only to wake up one morning and see your traffic has just tanked? If a Google Core update just punched you in the gut, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're not just going to talk about it, we're building your comeback plan step by step. Okay, let's get into it.
So, does this chart look a little too familiar? Yeah. One day you're riding high, and the next your analytics graph looks like an expert-level ski slope. I've been there. You just stare at the screen thinking, what did I do wrong? But here's the thing you have to remember. It's not personal, and it's definitely not random. There's a reason this happened, which means there's a way to fix it.
And this is probably the most important thing to get into your head right now. You haven't been penalized. Google isn't mad at you. All that happened is Google raised the bar. It decided that some of your competitors are now offering higher quality content. So this isn't about just getting back what you lost. It's about proving you deserve to be at the top. Let's roll up our sleeves and show Google what real quality looks like.
Okay, so before we can start winning back those rankings, we kind of have to get inside Google's head. We need to really understand the why behind these huge and, let's be honest, super frustrating ranking shuffles.
Think of it like this. A famous food critic comes to your town. They're not just reviewing one new restaurant, they're reevaluating the entire food scene. A core update is just Google retasting everything out there and deciding which websites are serving the best, most helpful food. So if your traffic dropped, it just means Google found other spots it thinks are a bit more helpful or trustworthy right now. Our job is to upgrade our menu so we become the must-visit 5-star destination.
All right, now for the fun part. We're about to put on our detective hats. We're going to go full-on CSI with your website data, dust for some digital fingerprints, and find the exact pages that need our help the most.
Okay, your number one tool here is Google Search Console. It's basically Google's free dashboard that tells you exactly how you're doing. If you don't have this set up, seriously, pause this right now and go do it. It is that crucial. Once you're in, that little compare feature is your secret weapon. You're hunting for those big red negative numbers. This takes all the guesswork out of it. The data is literally pointing you to where the fire is.
And this is exactly what you're going to see. Look at this example. You can tell plain as day that the best microphones page is your biggest bleed, right? It lost a whopping 405 clicks. Boom, that's ground zero. That's your first patient. This is why we use data. It tells us where to focus our energy for the biggest impact.
All right, we have our hit list. We know which pages are in the emergency room. Now we shift from diagnosis to action. It is officially makeover time.
Think of this as your pre-flight checklist for every single one of those struggling pages. Is your title just okay, or is it so compelling that people have to click it? Does your intro grab them by the collar in the first 2 sentences and promise a solution? These aren't just little tweaks. They're the fundamental difference between a page people ignore and a page people love.
And this right here shows the transformation perfectly. On the left, you've got a page that's just a wall of text. It might be technically correct, but it has no soul. On the right, you have a whole experience. You've got real-world pictures, a downloadable checklist, a personal story that connects. Which one would you trust? Yeah, Google thinks so too.
And that's the bottom line. In a world drowning in generic AI-generated content, your real-world experience is your biggest advantage. Add a section about what you learned. Talk about your mistakes. Your humanity is the one thing that can't be easily copied, so don't hide it. Make it the star of the show.
Now, let's talk about the magic ingredient that ties this all together. Trust. Google is on a mission to get rid of anonymous, low-quality content. And Author Box isn't just a nice little feature. It's you raising your hand saying, hey, a real credible human stands behind this info. You link to their social media. You show their expertise. That's a massive, massive trust signal for both users and for Google.
I know what you're thinking. This is great, but sifting through all that data sounds like it could take forever. Well, what if I told you there's a way to do all that detective work in minutes, not hours? Let's talk about your new best friend, AI. So instead of spending half your day getting cross-eyed staring at spreadsheets, you can literally just export your data from Google Search Console, upload it to a tool like ChatGPT, and give it a smart prompt. You can ask it to not just find the biggest losers, but to group keywords by topic. It can spit out a prioritized action plan in seconds. It's an absolute game changer.
And I mean, look at the difference here. We're talking about taking a process that could eat up your entire workday and shrinking it down to the length of a coffee break. The time you save on analysis is time you can spend on what actually matters, making your content better. It's about working smarter, not harder. Okay, let's pull all these threads together into one clear blueprint. We've identified the problem pages, we have the tools to fix them. Now let's lock in the strategy that's going to guide you to victory.
It honestly all boils down to these three things: trust, quality, and authority. From now on, every time you think about making a change to your website, ask yourself one simple question: does this increase trust, quality, or authority? If the answer is no, just don't do it. This is your new North Star.
And here is my final and maybe most important piece of practical advice. Don't try to renovate your whole house at once. You'll just make a giant mess. Pick one room, the most damaged one, and make it perfect. Give that one page the 5-star treatment and then move on to the next, one at a time.
So, what are you waiting for? That traffic drop is not a death sentence. It's an invitation. It's a chance to build a website that's stronger, better, and more valuable than ever before. So go on, open up your data, find that first patient, and start writing your comeback story. You've got this.